I've just had these delivered today, and these are premium DNA Earthworm gym figures. This one in particular is Psycrow, and I really can't wait to have a look at these. So I got this off AliExpress, which are known for bootleg figures. Now I don't think that this is a bootleg. I believe that this is the real deal, a genuine premium DNA figure. And as we look at this, I'm going to explain the reasons why I feel like this isn't a bootleg. So first of all, if we have a look at the packaging, so this has a slip cover. So this slip cover is extremely nice. You can see the artwork on there, and it's very clean. Lots of high quality detail in the artwork on the box. Now, bootlegs are known for having bad quality images on the boxes. So the renders that they normally put on the box, they're not quite as high quality as the ones that we're seeing on here. This box is so high quality that I don't feel, first of all, that this is a bootleg figure. I think that's the first giveaway for this, being that it's the genuine premium DNA figure. And there is the Psycrow figure. So here is all of the accessories that comes with the figure. You can see he comes with some additional heads, some extra hands, his harpoon gun. You get the space helmet, and you get a couple of tails. One of them being an exposed tail, and the other one is the yellow tail right at the back, which is the tail that's attached to the suit. So if we have a look over the details of the figure before we start switching out accessories and things like that, another reason why I believe that this is not a bootleg is the figure itself is just really, really nice. There's nothing on this figure at all that would suggest to me that this is a bootleg. So the joints are nice and tight. They do move very smoothly, but they are nice and tight. There's nothing loose like you normally get with your bootlegs. The paintwork is immaculate. So there's no sloppy paint on there. And the figure itself has some really nice weight. So it's not light, it doesn't feel cheap, it doesn't feel flimsy, it doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart. So there he is with one of his additional heads and those extra arms that he comes with. Those are his exposed arms, where you can see all of the details in the sculpt where they've sculpted those feathers in. Now again, when it comes to the paintwork, this is probably the only mishap that I've got with my quality control on the paint. Normally with bootlegs, it's real hit and miss when it comes to the finished product. Whereas with this one, sometimes we do get minor paint issues. You know, we get a few paint chips now and again on some of the figures that we buy. But with bootlegs, they normally come riddled with quality control issues. This figure has very few quality control issues. In fact, if anything, it looks like this is the only issue that I've got with the paint on the entire figure. This is the extra tail that he comes with. Again, this is the exposed tail where you can see all of the feathers sculpted in there. Amazing attention to detail with these figures. And then he's got this pouch on the side of his belt. So that's been sculpted to fit something in there. Now I don't know what exactly it is that we're meant to fit in there. As he doesn't come with anything that looks like goes in there other than his weapon, which is his harpoon gun. Again, look at the sculpting, look at the paint. That's just immaculate. Really nicely done. I mean, you can fit that in there. Doesn't look like a gun holster, but it works. Now with these exposed arms, they're not quite as articulated as these arms. These arms are double jointed. You can see the joints in the shoulders there. Whereas with these arms, these look to be single jointed, but the sculpting gets in the way slightly. So you're not going to get much in terms of range of motion with these arms. But what you are getting with these ones is the sculpting in the feathers, if you wanted to have his arms exposed. And again, when it comes to replacing the arms, it's actually quite a tight fit when you're getting them in there, but it just gives that feel of the premium quality, the plastics that they've used for these figures. This has some weight to it. Definitely not flimsy, definitely not cheap. He does come with this space helmet, Now this is quite tricky to get on. This will pull apart. So you've got two separate pieces. One of them will fit on the back of his head and the other one will come in round the front. But it's quite tricky to get on. And there he is with the space helmet on. In hand, this figure is just really, really nice. Really fun to play about with. So much detail, so many fun accessories. Now this here, this antenna, that is not articulated and it will not pull out. That's sculpted onto the shoulder pad, and it does slightly get in the way when you're trying to put the helmet on. But once you figure out how to put the helmet on, it's pretty easy. And there's his jetpack on the back. Again, look at the details in the jetpack. Look at the sculpting and the paint. And there he is, quickly just stood next to Jim. I will be doing a full review of Jim, but just for anybody who wants to see what these two look like stood next to each other. Right then, so posability. For a figure this chunky, surprisingly, he does have quite a lot of areas of articulation. So there's his double jointed elbows. He's got bicep swivel. The backpack can be removed. As you've seen, the tail can be removed, but there has no articulation in there once it's in. I believe that's double jointed knees that he's got there. It's covered up by that little knee pad, but you can see in there there's a joint. Yeah, double jointed knees. So yeah, lots of nice posability there, loads of articulation with a figure this chunky. So these are my first premium DNA figures. I didn't buy anything from the company before, but when I seen that they'd getting the Earthworm gym license and they put these figures up for pre-order, they were an instant pre-order for me. I used to play on the game back in the early 90s for the Sega, so when I seen these characters go up online, I had to have them. But I pre-ordered these on a UK website, but then I seen that they started showing up on AliExpress, and probably like most people, I thought, are these bootlegs? Where are people getting these from? Type of thing. But for the price, I couldn't pass up on getting them. On the UK website, I've pre-ordered these. I believe I paid £59 each. But on AliExpress, I believe I paid only about £15 on average for these each. Now, after having this in hand, personally, I can confidently say that these are not bootlegs. These are genuine premium DNA figures. Now, there's a few theories around how they've gotten on AliExpress. And one of the theories that I've read is that Premium DNA didn't like the quality when these were shipped out, and they returned them to the factories, and these are the defected figures that they're now just trying to sell on and make back some profit from the defect figures. Personally, I can't find any defects on these figures whatsoever, and you'll also see that in the Earthworm Gym review that I'll do. But especially with this one, absolutely no defects whatsoever, besides that one minor paint chip that's on there. The other theory, which is also interesting, is that Premium DNA weren't in a position to pay the factories that created these, and those factories are now selling them on, again just trying to recuperate profits on AliExpress. But I don't have a definitive answer on whether that's true or not. That's just something that I've read. So it's either that they've been returned for the quality and Premium DNA weren't happy with the quality, and they will be shipping out better quality figures, or Premium DNA didn't pay the factory that produced these, so the factory are now selling them on AliExpress to recuperate their losses. Again, I don't have any concrete evidence on which of those two is fact. This is just stuff that I've read on the internet. But having these in hand, I have absolutely no complaints whatsoever about picking these up, especially not for £15. Excellent quality figures. So if you're thinking about picking some of these up on AliExpress, then they are definitely worth having. I might keep my pre-orders open on the UK website just to compare the figures when they do come in, to see if that there is any upgrades, to see if they are any better in quality. But those pre-orders aren't ready to drop anytime soon, which is why I was highly surprised to see these showing up in people's hands, to see them showing up on AliExpress. I just had to jump on and get some, especially for the price, and I am not disappointed that I've picked these up. So that's going to do it for this one. Thanks again for watching. Anybody who's commenting, anybody who's liking what I'm doing, anybody who's subscribing, I appreciate everything that I'm getting on this channel. Absolutely over the moon. Thanks again so much for watching. It does mean a lot to see people putting thumbs up, people subscribing, people commenting. Thanks again.